the Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's show, please do me a small favour. Make sure to drop a like on this episode. Let's try and see 500 likes on today's show. And if you are watching for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, it's completely free content, so make sure you get involved. Right, today we are obviously going to be reacting to last night's Europa League draw against Real Sociedad. And we're also going to be talking about a summer exodus of players. There's a really interesting article that got put out a couple of days ago about the prices that we need to get back in order to break even on transfers, which I thought was really, really interesting. So we're going to go through that. It's from Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening News. But before we do that, I want to get your thoughts. I want to know... I wanted to know what players you think Manchester United should sell in the summer. And this could end up being a really long list. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What players should we sell? Or you could even just tell me what players you want to keep, because that might be slightly easier. Because I imagine if I say what players do you want to sell, you'll probably say all of them. So let me know what players you want to keep. So we're going to start the show off by talking about that. So this article from Samuel Luckhurst, we'll go through it, the whole squad. So we'll start off with Altay Bayindir. Altay Bayindir, so just so people understand the concept of this video and what I'm talking about, these are the players that Manchester United have in the squad. And these are the fees that they need to sell the players for this summer to avoid making a loss. Because remember, we've spoke about this before. Transfer fees are allowed to be spread over a 5-year period for PSR. So yeah, we'll go through it. So as long as we get whatever fee I say, anything more than that would be classed as profit. So Bayindir, if we sell Bayindir for more than £1.86 million, it will go down as a profit. So if we sell him for 5, we would make like £3.5 million profit. I'm not saying that I want to sell all these players, by the way. I'm just giving you the data and then we can kind of talk about it. The next player is Mazraoui. We would need to sell him for £6.5 million to not lose money. De Ligt is £30 million. Maguire would be 100% profit and would be treated like an academy player because we've paid off his fee over the 5 years. So in our PSR statement, there is nothing left to pay for Harry Maguire. So if we sold Maguire for 10 million this summer, say, we would make 10 million profit, which is really good and something to consider because obviously he has been given this new contract, but it is only a 1-year extension. And it does make me think, are they just trying to preserve the value of him and maybe they'll try and sell him? That would be sensible. Martinez, 18 million. No one's going to buy him though. He's injured all the time. Mason Mount is only 33 million we'd have to sell him for to break even, which isn't that much. Again, I don't think anybody would buy him though. Maybe a loan. I think we're just stuck with Mason Mount. Bruno Fernandes is the same as Harry Maguire. His fee has been paid off already. So he would be classed as 100% profit. If he sold Bruno for 50 million, that would be 100% profit. So that's something to consider as well. Højlund is 38 million. I think he's one of the players that most people think should be moved on. Although arguably when you look at last night's game as an example, Dalot, like it must be so frustrating for Højlund. Like Dalot could have literally just squared the ball to him and he would have got a goal, but he seems to be allergic to passing. Xerxes, 29 million. I would personally keep Xerxes though, I think. Dorgu, 27 million. Yoro, 42 million. Ahmad is the same as Maguire and Bruno. His fee's paid off, so he'd be treated like an academy player if we were to sell him. Casemiro, we need to sell for £15 million or more. Probably possible if you sell him to Saudi. Oh, I've got a sneeze coming. Ooh, sorry, everyone. Dalot is the same. He would be 100% profit. Luke Shaw is the same. He would be 100% profit. And that's food for thought with Luke Shaw. Because, you know, even if we just got a few million for Luke Shaw, I would sell him. 100%. And if that was 100% profit as well, not only would you be getting his 150 grand a week wages off the books, but you'd also be making a profit in relation to PSR. So that's something to consider. Onana is only 28 million, which maybe be possible, but I personally think Onana's not going to go anywhere. He's on 120 grand a week. He's got 80 grand worth of bonuses in his contract. He's comfortable. He's earning double what he earned at Inter Milan. He's earning double what he'll probably earn at any other club outside of Saudi. So I can't see him going anywhere, to be honest. Ugarte is 33 million. Kobbie Mainoo, Garnacho and Rashford would all be recorded as net profit because obviously we've never paid a transfer fee for them. And then 5 players who 100% are going to leave are Eriksen, Lindelof, Tom Heaton, Johnny Evans, and Sancho. So that's the whole squad, and I've kind of given you a bit of a rundown of I've given you a bit of a rundown of how much we need to sell each player for and all the rest of it. So it's all doable. If I go through the squad really quickly now, I'll give you like the ones that I think are the most realistic. So Binder, I think will sell, and I think we'll get more than the 1.8 million we need to break even. Maguire, I think definitely should be sold. If he's going to be 100% profit, then we should sell him, even if it's just for like 5 million. Go and reinvest that money in a younger player. Mason Mount and Martinez aren't going anywhere, whether we like it or not. Bruno, I mean, if we don't get European football, maybe Bruno does say, I want to leave, and I wouldn't blame him. Højlund, I think Højlund's going to be difficult to sell, but if an offer came in, I would definitely sell him. Looking through the rest of the squad, I think Casemiro is definitely one to watch. I mean, that's probably it, to be honest. If I'm being like really truthful and not over-egging the pudding, I think this summer will probably look like this. Christian Eriksen leaves. These 5 players are out of contract. Eriksen, Lindelof, Tom Heaton, and Johnny Evans. They're 100% going. And Jadon Sancho is obviously moving to Chelsea. His deal becomes permanent in the summer. So those 5 will leave. I think Rashford will go. I think Binder will go. I think Casemiro will go. And I think that'll probably be it. Maybe Maguire. I mean, that's still 8 or 9 players, which isn't terrible. And if you then go and bring in 4 or 5 really good players, Kenda, maybe an Osimhen, maybe an Angel Gomez, maybe a Jonathan David, maybe probably another midfielder, and then you promote 2 or 3 players from the youth team. Chido Obi gets a place in the senior team. Toby Collier is obviously going to be in the senior team. I'd be happy with that. I mean, does it mean we're going to win the league next season? No, of course not. But I would expect to see an improvement on what we have already. In an ideal world, I would sell way more of those players. But the realistic situation is, do we really think that somebody's going to come and buy Luke Shaw? Probably not. Do we really think that somebody's going to come and buy Mason Mount? Probably not. So, yeah, that's the reality of that situation. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Somebody says Højlund only has 2 league goals in March. That is shambolic. Yeah, I agree. Sokar says I would keep Bruno, Ugarte, Yoro, Dorgu, Chido, Heaven, Mazarawi, De Ligt, and Ahmad. Yeah, I would agree with that list. I would keep all of them. Sokar says if we sell Maguire because of his contract extension, doesn't he get a percentage of the sale? Yes, he does. I think it might be half. So if we sold Maguire for 5 million, he would probably get half of that 5 million. But it's still better than nothing, isn't it? Realistically. And obviously we've got Aiden Heaven now. We've got loads of centre-backs. You've got Aiden Heaven, Martinez, Yoro, De Ligt. Mazarawi plays at centre-back. Luke Shaw will play at left-sided centre-back when he comes back. Dalot can play as right-sided centre-back. Like, Casemiro can play at centre-back as a push. We've got like 7 or 8 centre-backs. We don't need Maguire, really. Yeah. Ranjit says that he would sell Garnacho and or Mainu. They don't fit the system. Wow. I agree with Garnacho. I think I'd probably keep Mainu unless it was, if someone offered us 100 million for Mainu, I'd probably sell him. Yeah. Yeah. Just checking to. But yeah, let me know. I want to know who you guys would keep and who you guys would sell. Let me know in the comment section once this video goes live. I think the players that I've listed are probably the most realistic. I could sit here and tell you that every player in the squad's going to be sold, but it's just not going to happen. We know that 5 players will 100% leave. That's a starting point. 5 players who are on big wages. Sancho's on, I think, 300 grand a week. Eriksen and Lindelof on about 150. And Johnny Evans and Tom Heaton are on about 50 grand each. So, I mean, if you look at those 5 players alone, right, it's around £700,000 a week in wages that will be gone, 100%. If you look at that over the course of a season, right, it is, let's do a bit of quick maths. It's about £40 million worth of wages just on those 5 players. And then if you manage to get rid of Binder, Casemiro, and I mean, that's probably it realistically. Yeah, if you manage to get rid of Casemiro and Binder, that's another 350 grand off the wage bill. So over the course of a season, you're probably saving 50, 60 million pounds worth of wages there, which is phenomenal. And you'd obviously get a bit of a transfer fee for Casemiro and Binder. And obviously we're getting, I think, 25 million for Sancho, which I don't know how much. Let's have a look at the Sancho situation, actually, because I don't remember. Like, I don't know how the amortization works around Jadon Sancho. So we signed him in. We signed him in 2021, right? And remember, you can spread it over 5 years. So I'm just trying to work out whether we'll actually make a profit on Sancho or not. We paid, I think, 75 million divided by 5. Yeah, we will. We'll make about 10 million profit on Sancho in relation to PSR because we've already paid off 60 million of his transfer fee, and we paid 75 million. So there's about 15 million pounds left to pay for Jadon Sancho's amortization, and we're selling him for 25. So we will make a tiny little profit there, which is better than nothing, isn't it? So that's something to look forward to. Johnny says, why do you guys focus on Rasmus so much? I mean, he's the Manchester United striker and he scored 2 goals. That's why people chat about him, I think. I understand that the players don't pass him the ball that much, but Chido Obi in that Fulham game had more shots on target, I think, than... Well, I can't even remember the last time Højlund had a shot on target. He didn't have one last night. He didn't have one against Fulham. Keith says it'll be 12 million profit on Jadon Sancho according to Swedish Rumble. Yeah, fair enough. That sounds about right. I was literally just working out the maths really quickly in my head. So thank you for confirming. That's really, really good to hear. 12 million profit. That's sound. That's good, that. And obviously we're going to get some money for Rashford, which will be straight profit. We'll probably get... Oh yeah, I forgot about Rashford. Obviously he'll be sold as well, won't he? But CBK... I completely forgot about Malacia and Anthony. It's because they're not on this list that I've got. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot. Malacia and Anthony. I mean, they'll definitely leave. But the problem is with Anthony, right? A similar situation. For some reason, this article didn't mention Anthony. I guess it's because he's not technically... I don't know, it's weird. Why has Anthony not been mentioned? That's really strange. So let's have a little look at Anthony. So we paid 85 million over 5 years. We'll have had 3 years times 3 minus 85. So we need to sell Anthony for more than 34 million to not lose money, which I think is doable. You know, I don't think Real Betis will pay 34 million for him because they probably don't have 34 million. But I think a club in Europe probably would buy Anthony for 34 million, realistically. If you think of how much did Barcelona pay for Rafinha? Like if Anthony continues with the form he is, I would expect Anthony to be worth about the same amount as Rafinha. Barcelona paid 58 million euros for Rafinha, which is what, 50 million pounds. So yeah, I think we should be able to get 40, 50 million pounds for Anthony in the summer. If he continues performing the way he is, if he falls off a cliff, then he'll come back to Old Trafford and we won't be able to sell him. So we just have to hope that he continues to progress. What else have we got? Gregory says, in our minds, Anthony's already gone. Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot that Anthony was even a Manchester United player. Completely forgot. And Malacia, Malacia's got all the right attitude, but I just don't think he's very good. I don't have any bad feelings to say towards him, and I believe there is a buy option in Malacia's contract with PSG. I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so there's a 10 million euros buy option for Malacia. We paid 15 million euros for him, but that was 3 years ago, so we'll have paid off a large portion of that already. Let's work that out as well. So we've paid off 9 million of Malacia's amortization. There's 6 million euros left to pay, and we have a 10 million euros buy option. So we would make 4 million euros profit if we sold Malacia to PSV in the summer. I don't really know how he's been getting on, to be honest. If anybody knows, let me know. I know PSV got absolutely battered the other night, didn't they? I'll be honest, I don't watch PSV at all, so I have no idea how he's doing, how he's performing. Let's see if I can. Well, I mean, if you lose, was it 7-1 that they lost against Arsenal? Let's have a little look. Let's see what his rating was for that game. Eredivisie. So he played 90 minutes against Go Ahead Eagles on the weekend and they lost. I mean, it doesn't look like it's gone too well so far. Since he's joined, I don't think they've won a game in the Eredivisie. They lost in the semi-final of the Dutch Cup as well. And they've obviously just lost 7-1 to Arsenal. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound too good. But, yeah, I forgot about that. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show this morning. I hope everyone has a lovely day, whatever you're doing. I'll be back tomorrow morning as normal. This has been Daily Red Devil. Don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe.